welcome back. I'm Linda. Today I'm going to be doing another snow scene, a church on the side of a beautiful hill. This church is rather special to me. It's from my Norwegian family in Norway. They used to worship there. It's called the Hedalen Stave church. And it's rather different. It's not your normal shaped church. It has like 3 different peaks. And so anyway, I'm going to show you how I did this and how I put it on my canvas. So I hope you can watch, pause and paint. So let's get started. Alright, so this is how I put my church on my canvas. I sketched with a pencil out this little church with the peaks and got it the way I wanted it. Then I took a piece of clear mylar and I traced over that with a marker, a permanent marker. So then I've got this. So from there I took and I placed it on my canvas exactly where I wanted it and traced it with a piece of carbon paper underneath so it would go on my canvas. And it is erasable, so it's not like it's permanent. So that's how I got my church right where I want it. It's going to help me and guide me. So there you go. So let's get started. So now I'm taking some liquid clear and I'm doing a very light coat onto the canvas. In fact, after I get right underneath the church there, I'll be taking my shop cloth, there we go, and excuse me, and wiping it off because I don't want much on there. So now this is lamp black. You can use midnight black or whatever black you want. This one, I just used lamp black for this. And I'm going to go all around the church, around it, not on it. And it'll be just at the base of that church, the bottom, I'll stop. Because it is a night scene. Okay, now I'm doing very, very light. It's black mixed with a little bit of light blue. And that's phthalo blue with a little bit of white. And I'm making some background trees. And you can make a hill there or whatever you want and put bushes there. Very, very light. You'll see it in the next phase. You'll actually see where it is. But it's just a very light, far away trees. There, you can see it a little better now. Now I am touching up, I'm working on the church. And whatever color you want to make your church, white, gray. This old church is actually made out of wood. So I ended up making the church wood a little browner, darker brown. And the roofs will end up with snow on them, so you can do as much detail that you want with your church. This one has, and here I put it more close up so you can see it. It's very hard to paint. When you're on straight on the easel, it's better if it's flat, for me anyway. But I'm just kind of doing a little detail work, forming some boards, and shaped out the windows. And there I did a little crisscross design on the door. It's going to be far away. I probably, shouldn't worry about it, but I am going to be making, there, I'm putting yellow, and that's straight cad yellow with a little touch of white. It's going to be very light. It's a night scene, and the windows are going to be lit up. So I'm just going to go around and do the windows. It's tedious. But once you get done, it's going to look really, really pretty. I'm making lines as if they're plank front, like log fronts. I don't know. They're just panels, wood. I wanted to make it as rustic as I could. Alright, so now I'm starting with in front there, the landscape, which is a medium gray with a filbert. I'm just going in circular motions for a background, adding a little bit of white here and there, give it a variety, depth. So you go right up to the side of the church and kind of meet your trees there. You'll be able to see your trees better probably than here. And so I just put the gray down for a base. It's going to be snow there, so you want to. And now I'm forming a bit of a driveway or a path. And I'm just etching it in with some gray. And you can change that shape if you want, but I want it to come to the front. I'm just highlighting a little bit there. And here I've got my 1 inch, and I'm just tapping in softly. I don't even know if I have paint on that. I might have a little bit of dark gray on there, and just tapping it in, smoothing it out. Gotta watch your lay of the land there. It's on the left side. It's a little higher. It slopes down. And I'm bringing that gray up into the black just a little bit to blend it. And now you can see that I've added some white, and I'm just gradually working down to the bottom of the canvas there, sloping as I go. And on the other side, I've added a little bit of a light blue around the edge of this path. And I've also added a little bit of black on that one edge. That's going to be stone. So, in fact, the black is going to come down all the way around that corner there at to the front there, the bottom of the canvas. Now I had a little too much gray there, so I took some a shop cloth and rubbed it out. I'm adding some white. You can always, correct it if you don't like something. You can't really make a mistake, so. Just keep adding white till it's lighter and lighter, and I'll be shaping that a little better. Adding a little blue there, light blue, meeting up to the black. Black is kind of a wall of stones there. Okay, now I started on my back pine trees. It's it's a light blue. It's phthalo with a little bit of white, and I don't want it real bright. And I'm starting to shape my pine trees. I'm going to have several pines in there. And I just rock my fan brush kind of back and forth. So right now I'm just putting some basic colors back there, I guess, shaping a little bit. Some bushes. And as long as I have blue on my brush, I'm going to go down there and put a little blue there. So I'm going to have another pine tree right there, so I'm starting to form that one. If you make a mistake, you can always add a little black. Cover it up if you think it's too light, because we'll be highlighting those with a pretty icy blue. It's going to look pretty. But for now, it's kind of a duller, soft, real soft, light blue. But I'm just rocking back and forth in there, shaping my trees. And working on my baseline there, making it a little bit lighter. Just tapping. Okay, now that I've got the trees in, I am putting in trunks. And that is with medium gray. And then I'll add a second one here. Smaller ones actually that are farther set back. And I like to start my trees from the bottom up because I tend to have a little heavier touch when I can lift up as I go up. Some people like to start at the top and come down, but I like to work from the bottom up. And then just let up as I get to the top. And those trees are all the way to the top. We'll have a couple here that aren't all the way. There's smaller ones there. Now this one here is just going to go right about there. It's not too much taller than the steeple. Maybe a little bit taller. Now I'm adding some of the pine needles, and they're kind of a nice icy blue. And just rocking my fan brush kind of back and forth, leaving some holes here and there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll be highlighting these pines too later on. Okay, then I'm gonna make this second pine, which is a big one. Here and there, you can leave spaces in there. It makes it look more realistic. And I don't go real heavy on the right side because it's away from the church light. The church lights are supposed to be like, hitting the trees. So it's all going to be on the outside of the trees, the outside edge, not so much on the inside, because it's dark out, And that you'll be able to tell after I get done with this set of boughs. I'll highlight with a real nice. There I've got some liquid white that I just touched the end of my fan brush, just a little bit to give it that glow. Yeah, liquid white is nice for highlighting. There, you can see I had a little too much, so I took my shop cloth and I just dabbed it a little bit and took off the excess. Now I'm working on the bigger pine there. And you can use your fingers, it doesn't matter. And just tap lightly and form those little boughs. Just leave those holes in there, that's what makes it look pretty. And I'm kind of fluffing up the bottom a little bit, just bringing up and highlighting the bases of the trees. Just go up on the inside there, just a little bit of highlight there with the light blue. Okay, now I am really highlighting there, just on the inside, some of the inside boughs there with some liquid white with just a touch of yellow, just a very, very light. And it doesn't have to be a lot, it's just enough from the church light. Set these boughs off really nice. And put a little more snow. Flicking my fan brush with the end of a brush. Put in a few stars up there. Okay, now it looks like I'm putting some snow on the roof there with my palette knife. Just pulling down lightly. Just get a roll paint on there and just pull down a little bit. Not very hard. And then I'm just tapping in some of the edges of the roof lines. And it doesn't have to be solid, you know, it can be rough. So now I'm bringing down some icy blue into the landscape there, trying to stay with the downhill slope. Just tapping in with my fan brush and changing out, adding a little white. It is going to be a little bit bluer down toward the front, darker blue, and I'll be adding some rocks. There I'm kind of shaping with the darker blue the path. And adding some blue underneath those rocks, and you'll see how pretty that's going to look after I put some snow on them, or some white. Get a little bend there in the road, so I want to follow through with some blue. Give it a little depth there, extra color. Then blend in with the white. You can make the landscape however you want, but it's kind of on a knoll there, a little bit of a slope, so it's going to have some color difference toward the bottom anyway. I'm shaping that road. Putting in more blue down there. You can see now I did highlight more on those other pines on the inside. I put a little snow going up and came down at the base there, a little bit lighter color, and I also added some color there in the middle of the road. I put a little bit of tinge of yellow and tiny a little bit of pink, just a little bit. Now I'm putting snow or white, titanium, and a little bit of liquid white on top of the black, shaping it into rocks. Bringing that light color down into the path. Okay, see how it's shaping up there? I added some more rocks on the other side of the path. And now I'm putting in one more pine tree. Gonna make it a little bit wider, all the way to the top. And at the base I'll be putting a little snow there. I'm gonna put some rocks down in there too. Oh, I'm highlighting the side of the tree. Taking a little bit of liquid white, just going on the inside there of the tree. And tapping down toward the bottom. There you go. You can see the bark, and it looks like the snow is built up there around the tree base. And so here I am making the pine needles again, just like I did the other side, with that light blue. Just here and there, sporadic. Doesn't have to be solid. I highlighted the ends of the pine boughs, a few of them. And it looks, I've added some dark brown, gray underneath the rocks to give it a little more depth, you know. Tapping in some more snow. Highlights. The liquid white works great for highlights. There, I'm going to really put some highlights on the end of that bowl there. Up there. Makes it pop, doesn't it? Just light touches. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. This was really fun. So if you like and you want to see more of these, hit the like button and follow. And until then, God bless and have a great day.